God is so good. God knew this was going to be our house. Look at that. It matched perfectly with the door. God already knew we were going to have this house.
Money makes the world go around, but wise choices keep it spinning smoothly. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. It's your finance and budget bestie, Cyn. So I just bought my first house at 40 years old. Yes, honey, it's never too late to chase your dreams and make them a reality. So if you're thinking about buying a house, but feel like you're too late in the game, or maybe you've got some credit issues holding you back, stick around because I'm spilling all the tea on how I made it happen. So before we start, I'll be using this background until my content room is complete. All right, let's rewind for a bit. For years, I thought home ownership was just a dream for me. I mean, who knew I'd be buying my first home at 40? Life is funny like that sometimes. So basically, I spent a good chunk of my 20s and 30s focusing on my career and other priorities, and I didn't think much about saving for a house. But then something clicked. I realized I wanted that stability and that sense of belonging, so I decided it was time to make a change. Now let's talk about my credit. Y'all, my credit score was not cute. I had some bumps along the road, like late payments and a few collections that hunted me like a bad ex, okay? But I refused to let that stop me from reaching my goal. So here's what I did. So the first thing I did was pull my credit report. Knowledge is power, honey. I needed to know what I was working with. I found out what was dragging my score down, and I made a plan to tackle it. Okay, here's the scoop on how I improved my credit. First, I made a list of all debts and prioritized them. I focused on the smaller debts first to get those quick wins, which motivated me to keep going. It's like a snowball effect. Once I started paying them off, I felt empowered. Next, I set up reminders on my phone to pay my bills on time. Late payments were killing my score, so I made it a point to pay everything promptly. I even started using automatic payments for the essentials to avoid any slip-ups. I also worked on my credit utilization ratio. I made sure to keep my credit card balances low compared to my limits. Now, if you're using more than 30% of your credit limit, it can hurt your score. So I paid down my cards and only used them for things I could afford to pay off right away. And lastly, I opened a secured credit card. This helped me build my credit while being responsible. I only used it for small purchases and paid it off every month. It worked wonders. Once my credit started looking better, it was time to save for the down payment. I won't lie, it wasn't easy. I had to get serious about my finances. Here is how I did it. I took a look at my spending habits and found areas where I could cut back. Eating out, girl, I was down to one dinner out a month. I started meal prepping and cooking at home, which saved me a ton. I also picked up a side hustle. I did a little Uber Eats food delivery. That extra money went straight into my house fund. Every little bit helped. Then I created a detailed budget that allocated funds specifically for my down payment savings. I treated it like another bill I had to pay. This made saving feel more manageable. Also, there are companies that can help you with your down payments as well. Now that my credit was looking good and I had some savings, it was time to find my dream home. Now here's what I did. Research. I researched neighborhoods that fit my budget and my lifestyle. I wanted a place that felt safe and had good schools. You got to think about the long term when you're looking for someone that you're buying. I found a great realtor who understood my needs. She was a lifesaver. She helped me navigate the process and find properties that fit my budget. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Nobody does this alone. Now, when I found a few homes that I liked, I made sure to get them inspected. Now, I wanted to make sure I wasn't buying a money pit. It's worth the investment to avoid future headaches. Better safe than sorry, I promise you. Finally, the big day came. After countless viewings and negotiating, I got the call that my offer was accepted. Y'all, I couldn't believe it. Now, the closing process was a bit overwhelming, but I stayed organized and kept my cool. I signed all the paperwork, and just like that, I was a homeowner. So there you have it, y'all. I bought my first house at 40. And if I can do it, so can you. Remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams, no matter your age or your credit situation. Determination, hard work, and strategies. You can do anything you put your mind to, guys. Like I said, I'm 40 years old. I'm just now owning my home. I spent my 20s and 30s doing whatever I wanted to. Buying a home was nowhere in my mind, not even in the back. Well, it probably was in the back, but it wasn't my reality at the time. And here I am, 40 years old, just got my credit the way it needs to be, and I'm a homeowner. It doesn't matter your age. If you're able to get your house when you're 20, 30, get the house. If you're 60, 70, get the house. When it's time for you to get your home, you will get your home. There's no age stipulation. There's no time stipulation. You get it when the time is right. 40 years old, I'm excited. I own my home. Well, I bought my first home. So, and I will own it eventually, you know. But make sure you find something that's in your budget. Do not go outside of your budget. Well, the finance companies won't let you go out of your budget. And they tell you how much you're working with, and you have to go around and find homes that fit your budget. But make sure you find a home that you would love to live in for years to come. Years to come. That you want to raise your family in, your grandkids. Something that you would love to live in. Make sure you check all the cracks and peeps and holes. Make sure there's no little bugs getting in, you know, the little rodents. Check your roof. I looked at one house and they were saying something about the roof was over 10 years old. So the mortgage company didn't want, they said I couldn't get their home because the roof. So it's so many outs and ends on it, guys. It has to be at this price, it has to be this, that. But you make the final decision. Don't let anyone pressure you into getting something that you don't want, okay? Because you have to pay for it. You have to live in it. So make sure it's something that you want. Don't run into it. It's not a race. This is your future. So take your time. If you have to look at over 100 houses before you make a decision, do that. It's your house. It's your money. And like I said, it's also companies that will help you with your down payment. Check your local area and see what type of funds they have available for you. But there are agencies that will help out with your down payment. Now, down payments can be very high, okay? Down payments can be $5,000 and up, okay? So just be mindful of that. Get your credit together. Go check your credit report. Check your credit report. My credit report was full of student loans. So I had to chop them down. At first I did my old little AT&T bills, my little small medical bills. I knocked all them down because they were easier to pay off. And then with the student loans, you can get it payment plan. It's ways around everything. If you want it, go get it. Now, the process took me about a year because when I first went to a finance company, they were like, your credit is shot, girl. All these student loans. So I had to work on that first. She said, go work on your credit, then come back. Worked on my credit, then I came back to the same lady, and then we went from there. So it's not a short process. It took me a whole year to get my credit right, to come back to her, to look for homes, and it's so stressful and it's aggravating. Because sometimes you can find a nice home, but you don't like the area. Or you like the area, but the home isn't what you want. Like with me, I had to have a walk-in closet. I had to have at least 2.5 baths. I had to at least have 4 bedrooms. I had to have a front yard, a backyard with a fence. It was just so much. I didn't want a pool. So just take your time with it, guys. But like I said, you got this. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your finance and budget bestie is out.